Hello everyone. Whoops, welcome. I got the wrong screen here. Hello, welcome to Create with Nancy. I am Nancy Thompson from Skinny Atlas, New York, and today we are celebrating St. Patrick's Day a little bit. And also, I got my swag on here, so I'm going to take that off so I can see you guys. So if you're joining in, come on in and say hello. Leave a comment that you're here and where you're coming from. It is live today, Wednesday, or it's Wednesday, but it's Friday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Originally, I was going to use a different bundle today, and then as I got creating my samples, I turned my card into St. Patrick's. So we are using the Lucky Clover stamp set and punch. There is a coordinating punch that has already sold out, but you can easily fussy cut this stamp set. And I'm just going to check to make sure we are live here. Hey, Colleen, happy St. Patrick's Day. Seeing you twice already today. Let me see here. Oops, I can go back here and let me just see this here. Okay, I think we are good. I'm just, let's see, just wanted to okay, we're good. All right, good to see you again. I've got my green on. I'm not sure if you saw my swaggy glasses here or not, but anyways, okay, so let's get started. So if you're joining in, come on in and say hello. So I've got lots to share with you today, and let me grab, I definitely need a piece of grid paper. So I'm going to show you a few samples, and then as we go on, I'm going to then show you what I did to create it. So I'm kind of sharing the messy stuff last. I forgot to get a baby wipe, but hopefully we'll be okay, because it's an inky kind of day today. So we're going to use lots and lots of inks here. Let me set up my screen here. Whoops, wrong one. And get going. So, hi Carol, welcome. You're going to love this today. If you're wanting to learn more techniques beyond basic stamping, this is filled with techniques today. So we're going to heat emboss. We're going to use the blending brushes for some resist. So, I've done a little embossing on some cards, and we're doing the fun fold. So, yes, so let's get going, and let's see, let's switch this over, and here is, in case you need a house code for this month, and I haven't, that's my goal this weekend or later today, is to figure out the card kit for this month. I've been so busy and I haven't done that yet. Okay, so what inspired today was a swap that I got from a leader swap that I was in, and we did this card in my team meeting. So hopefully you guys can see this. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. So this was kind of like a fun fold as well. Maybe I zoomed in a little too much here, so let's just go back out a little bit more. And I feel like the light just kind of dimmed, but it hasn't. And hopefully it's not blurry. So here's this card right here. So it's just kind of like a fun fold. It kind of opens up, and then during our team meeting, it got me thinking about the vertical pop-up. So I figured let's change this into a vertical pop-up easel card, vertical easel pop-up card, I guess. So anyways, so we've got this going. So we are going to, so let me show you this card. So here is the card right here. Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? Let me kind of show you what I started with. This is some paper from our online exclusive store. I can't remember. It's called the Naturally Gilded Specialty Designer Paper. And there's 3 different color schemes to it, okay? We have a vanilla and a gold. I don't know if you can see the vanilla, but you can see the gold. So it's a very light vanilla background, and then the gold highlighted, okay? And then there's silver and white here. Isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that. Simply gorgeous. And then we have copper and white. I love these. So you get 2 of each. They're 12 by 12 that come in a package, and these are in the online exclusives. You just have to go into the store and look for online exclusives, and hopefully I can do a shopping cart to this video, okay? So you can find the codes there as well, which linked right to my, afterwards I'll do a shopping cart. Okay, so there's the naturally gilded. So I kind of turn that into this. Look at that. Isn't that just simply gorgeous? Look at that. So here is our easel pop-up card right there. And I die cutted some leaves. I just glued the die cut and then fussy cut so there was like a solid image underneath to create that leaf there. And it's just going to be, I'm going to leave it blank inside, okay? So I'm going to show you how I turned, let me see here. This is the copper, how I turned this into this in another minute, okay? So, yeah, it's just amazing. And in the back, this oval background, I use the new embossing dies, one of them, the flower one in the basic 3D embossing folders that are also part of the online exclusives. So in here, I simply, when I inked up the stamp, I inked it up with pale papaya and then simply took a marker and colored the inside of my flower with the marker. So it gives it that two-tone look. So hopefully you can see this, and I'll be posting samples. And then added some of the pale papaya ribbon. So, I mean, even that by itself, I think is just gorgeous. If you didn't want to get into doing a pop-up. And I think if I were to make this card again, I would layer black on it like I did here. So I would have a black mat on the front as well. I think it just would help make this designer paper here pop just a little bit more. So, so I might make another one of those. And then here, I did the envelope. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love it. So, so there we go. So let me show you in a minute. I've got one more card I want to share. This one is going to be with the silver design here. Okay. And, so look at this one here. This is with the, yeah, what's the name of this one called? The Sweet Songbirds stamp set right here. So, and I forgot to get something out. Let me see. There's a little bit of specialty paper on here. I didn't pull it out before we started because I was running behind. Okay, so you can see this. So I used a little bit of this fine shimmer on here. It's just the fresh freesia shimmer to it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's thin, it's simple and easy to use to punch. So let's move that. So you can see I used a little bit right here under this tag. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I use for this tag here. And then I colored it with the fresh freesia on the background of this, okay? So, and then here's my little pop-up. So we've got a little bit more hint of this fresh freesia here. And then I used, yes, the Petal Park stamp set here for these little flowers, just to give it my stopping for this so it will pop up. And I'm kind of liking these pop-ups. Oh, you know what? I have more to share with you. And I didn't grab them before, but we'll share more in a minute, okay? I'll share more at the end because I do have some more samples. Okay, so let's work with this. This is the vanilla and the gold. I thought this would be perfect for St. Patrick's Day, okay? And then I'm going to share, let's see, where am I going to start with this? So let's, I got to look at my card here. And so we starting with a card base here of Granny Apple Green, and just remember colors, there's going to be a color refresh, so mark March 29th on your calendar to come and check out all the details about the color refresh. So simple and easy, 2 1/8 score and 4 1/4. That's it, 2 1/4. So 2 score marks is all you need. And then you're going to want to, I have a bone folder here, burnish really, really well on each of these folds. This is what really helps that pop-up, maneuver, really, it stays in place a lot better if you've got a nice score mark there, okay? It's not so easy to kind of like pop away. It'll keep it better. Okay, so there's our card base. So we're gonna first take this, a sheet of this, and before I forget, well, we'll do that afterwards. We are gonna simply take a blending brush, okay? A blending brush and our ink pad, our Granny Apple Green ink pad. I thought this would show up through the gold really nice, and plus we're talking St. Patty's Day today, right? So when you're starting, you always want to start off your cards, your paper, it's, a little bit, because there's always like a really intense amount of ink on here. So you don't get that blobby look, and it just looks like a really nice burnished blending look to it, okay? It just looks really nice and smooth. Now you can put on as much or as little color as you want. And I highly recommend, if you're going to do a lot of blending, that you make sure that you have a refill on hand as well. Because it will use a lot of ink off your ink pad, okay? So this gold foil that's on this paper is resisting the ink. Isn't that just so cool? So this is like an ink resist type technique. And you could do this with regular embossing as well. When you use heat embossing, you could do resist as well with that. So just lots and lots of fun things that you can do. So I'm just still grabbing some ink with my blending brush, and I'm just trying to decide. I already did one, so I guess this is probably pretty good. So when you're blending, this is a small piece of paper. I almost wish I had kept these two together and then cut it apart when I was done, because I knew how wide I wanted each strip. I could have cut out the rectangle and then cut it apart afterwards, so it was a little bit bigger piece to work with. But you just want to, make sure you're holding it good and just taking your time. You don't have to do a ton of pressure, because the bristles on here are going to do it all for you, okay? And it's amazing how much ink is in these brushes. And I think the last time we used it, I had said that you could wash these if you want, but I try to keep like one green brush, one blue, red, pink, purple, a few of the main colors from each other, so I don't have to keep washing them, because you really don't want to like put this into a yellow. It's gonna definitely muddy up your ink pad. So by dropping a few drops in the acrylic blocks instead of dabbing, okay, you can do that too. It might be really intense when you're doing this blending thing, but lots, depending on what you're doing with, if you're like watercoloring with, that works great. But with the blending, that would really give a lot of ink in a spot. So you just want to kind of pick up some for the bristles. But definitely try it out. If that kind of works for you, then I say go for it. It's just kind of whatever your preference is. Okay, so now we're going to take just a clean paper towel, and we're going to just rub over this and get rid of some of that ink. See how much ink is kind of like laying on the gold, and just rub that off and just burnish it a little bit, and it shines up the gold as well. Okay. And let's just do this one more time. Okay, so we're going to layer this onto a piece of gold foil, okay? But there's a lot of gold foil that's going to get covered up, and I don't know, I always feel like gold foil is like costs definitely a lot more than this. So and I didn't do it on this other one. I didn't think about it ahead of time. So I'm going to take a punch, and it could be really any punch that you want, but I think, do I want this one? Let me see here. Maybe we'll go with this, okay? Let's go with this one right here. This oval, double oval. Oh no, can't do that because it's going to run into that. So that's not a good thing. We'll go back to the postage one. You could also do a die cut, whatever you want, but we're keeping it simple here today because we have a punch handy. You just want to make sure you're in far enough that you're not going to, you want to make sure you have enough frame here so when you put your paper over, that whatever you punched out is not going to show, okay? But I think we can get one more out of here. So let's do that. You could kind of like set it all the way down, but just make sure you're okay side to side as well. Okay, so there's two. I could create, figure out what size rectangle to put in here, you know, as a label or something to mat it with. So, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so let's add this onto our gold foil here. All right. So what do you guys think of the blending with the brushes? I'm going to just rub this on here. And yes, the color, the foil does make it pop. Isn't that cool? I think I'm done with this for right now. So let's close that up for a minute, and I'm going to add this. So I had cut these two together. I'm just looking to see, do I have, maybe I didn't cut them both together. I was just looking to see what the pattern is. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Let's see. Oh, that's okay. We'll just wing it here. So I'm going to add some more adhesive on here. Let's add this one as well. See, I didn't do this. I'd already secured the, before I thought about punching out some of the excess gold foil. Okay, so there's just a smidge showing. I'm going to use this so I keep the ink off my fingers, but it's already kind of going that way. And let's get this down just a smidge as well. Okay, so let's do this. All right, so there's kind of like the start of our pop-up, right? Okay, so let's move to the inside here. Yeah, what did I do with stuff here? I thought I had it all like right here. Let me see. Oh, here we go. It's off here to the side. Okay, so this is going to be a birthday card because I do have some, and it's going to be a late birthday card. I have a customer, her birthday's today, so I think that's exciting. So we're going to stamp a greeting on the inside because I want this to dry for a minute before I do this. So we're using, this is out of the Something Fancy, I believe that's what it's called. Yep, Something Fancy stamp set. And I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration, right? So, whoops, my stool here. So let's stamp this kind of off to the side. There we go. And we're going to add, oh, we're going to need this back a minute. We're going to add some, the Lucky, I didn't show you guys that stamp set, the Lucky Clover. So this isn't our mini. I know the punch is gone. It's sold out already, but it's still an easy fussy cut to fussy cut. But they've got this little spray of clover. So I thought that would look really neat on here. Well, let's see. We'll just put a couple here, and then maybe we'll go down here with that. And now I think, well, we're probably still going to use this. And let's add this to the inside. We're going to just pop that in there. So let's add some adhesive here. Okay, So this is a 4" by 5¼ piece. And let's see. Hi, Shirley. Welcome. And Betty. Hey, you guys snuck in the door. So I've already taken a piece of this gold foil and I embossed it with the new 3D flower folder there. It's part of the set of 3 collection. So let's add some adhesive on here. And I'm going like the whole length of this card. So I think it's 3/4 inch wide strip that I'm using. And that looks sharp. Look at that. And then when that's open, that hint of gold just looks awesome, doesn't it? Okay, so we've got this. So we're gonna figure out our front now. So I used one of the labels from the Something Fancy Dies, and I've already die cut it, and there's that flower. Boy, lighting is not very good today. I don't know why. It's just really reacting differently. And hopefully you can see the floral image on there. Okay, so this is going to go on here, and we're going to make we're going to stamp some shamrocks. Okay, and we're pulling in our Stamparatus because we're using colored cardstock, and sometimes you just need the Stamparatus because you want to stamp your image more than once. Okay, you know what, I'm going to go like this. There's lots of great ways to use this. So let's, let me think here. I need to pull this off anyways. We need to readjust. All right, I'm going to butt this up against my edge, and then we're going to add some magnets. And one thing about the Stamparatus, it's a stamp positioning tool. And I put a little bit of, you know, kind of like packing tape around this, and just so it's easier to grip these. And you never want these two to cling together because they're just ceramic magnets, and they will break if they slam together too hard. Okay, so I've kind of got my stamp where I want it to be, and then I'm going to put this over so I can pick it up. All right, so because I found that the first image that I got, I felt like it needed to be inked again. So that's why I pulled out the Stamparatus, because especially on colored cardstock, sometimes you don't get a nice crisp image. So it helps to use the Stamparatus. So sometimes if you take like an ink pad you got lying around and you put it underneath the plate here, it just helps stabilize this so you can get some really good ink coverage. Okay, so I'm just tapping lightly, and this is where it's a little bit harder. Just kind of use the heel of your hand. Actually, that did not come out very bad. That looks kind of good, but we'll go one more time, okay? Because it still is a little faint here, and let me just zoom in a little bit more. It's still a little faint there, so let's do this. Hopefully this is a big enough screen. I don't think I was rushing and I didn't get the right screens I wanted to. Okay, so we've got that. Oh, look at that. That looks so much better, right? Okay, so now we're going to take this image, and I'm going to show you how you can take this and turn it into an embossed image, a heat embossed image, which is really, really cool. So any of your colored inks can be turned into heat embossed, okay? Let me grab my chamois. Chamois are great for this right here. Just kind of clean it off, and because it's so nice and pliable. All right, I'm gonna just kind of go like that. Just make sure it's dry. Okay, so what are we gonna do? How are we gonna heat this up? So I'm gonna bring in my Versamark pad here, and I've got the powder tray, or heat, embossing tray. I've got clear embossing powder, okay, and the Versamark. So I don't think this time it's not necessary really to use the embossing buddy, but there are times, like, because we're going to punch this out, I'm not going to worry about using this. But this is perfect to use this when you're trying to keep, like, say this was definitely on paper and you weren't going to punch it out and you wanted it embossed. This, I would run it over first so it resists. So if some of this powder stuck somewhere on here, it helps just removes the static on your cardstock, so the powder won't want to stick to it. Does that make sense? Hopefully I didn't confuse you on that, but it's just great to keep the excess powder off your cardstock. Okay, so we're gonna just add some, and this is a soft pad just like our ink, so you don't need to press a lot really hard. You're just really tapping across. And Versamark is a sticky ink, okay? It's sticky, so that way the powder sticks to it. And I'm going to do this one more time because I want to make sure, I'm not sure how juicy my pad is, so I want to make sure there's enough Versamark on there. And when you're doing heat embossing, you want to work kind of quickly, okay? Don't lollygag around too much. And I'm going to just pour this over my tray, and can you see that? And I'm just going to tap, tap, and get rid of any excess. And there's a brush. I think this is good enough. All right, can you see it's nice and powdery, right? So we're going to turn that into magic. So it might get a little noisy here for a minute because we're going to pull in our heat tool now. This is, you know, I haven't the old style, but there's a newer style where this metal end is encased, all right? And I'm trying to think, I don't have my tweezers here, I don't think. I meant to grab them too. So anyways, there's a pair of tweezers that come with this, but this is a big enough piece of paper, you know, so it latches onto your cardstock and you won't burn up your fingers. Uh-oh, there we go. Okay, so I want to have you watch the magic happen here. This is like the best thing. So you're going to see, can you see it starting to turn now? Look at that. It was just like so cool to see all that powder melt away. And once I just kind of look at it in the light to make sure that it's all nice and glassy looking, okay? All right, so you just give it like a second to cool, but isn't that really cool? So we're gonna pull in the punch because we're gonna make this easy, right? Yeah, so we'll just pull in this punch. So you can see like the excess that I was talking about. I probably should have used the buddy to begin with, but that would go away if you had used the buddy. The gold piece is beautiful. Thank you. So let's put this in here and punch out this clover. I need to trim. Something's hitting somewheres. So let's trim this here. Come on. There we go. It's just situating it. And when you're kind of like putting in the punch, you just give it a gentle squeeze so you can make sure that it's sitting where you want it to be before you punch it out. Okay? Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I really wish they had these still in stock. All right, so we've got our clover, and then I've already pre-done some smaller ones that we're going to use. Okay, and let's see, that's for later. I've got my happy birthday ready to go as well. So let's look for this. Okay, so let's adhere this first, okay? This is going to be our focal point. So remember we had like, I'm going to use that postage, yeah, what do we call it? I want to make sure I got it. Rectangle postage punch here. We're going to use that. And I'm going to just use my Seal Plus, and I've already folded, yikes, in half. Let's get rid of that. Okay, all of a sudden I'm curling up. Excuse me. Come on. It does get finicky once in a while. Okay, so I fold it in half, so we're going to just put this in line with the gold. And you could use Tombow liquid glue as well, the multi-purpose glue. Do I have this too high? A little bit. Let's move it down just a hair. Hopefully this didn't stick. Okay, so just reach inside there and give that a little press. And then I just kind of fold those down and center this and then press that, okay? Will they be restocking the punch? They will not. It is completely sold out, unfortunately. I know there's a lot of unhappy people about that. Okay, so our shamrock's gonna go here, and let's grab some dimensionals. So I'm gonna put one on each of the petals here. Okay. Let's get in our little trash container. So, anybody doing anything special for St. Patty's Day today? Are you going out? Do you cook corned beef? Do you go have green beer? Anything like that? We don't do much. So I made Reubens earlier this week, so I'm Reubened out. Had enough salt for a while. Okay, so, but I do love them. They're a nice treat. Okay, so we're gonna make this a birthday card. So I gotta think here. How's this gonna go on? I think we're gonna go happy birthday like that. Maybe I'll go up a little bit more so I can put this shamrock here. I gotta think what I used. I think I used a full one on here. So maybe we'll start from the bottom and work our way up, right? Because I definitely know I want this down here. And then I'm looking at comments. Okay, you love blending, Carol. Nice. So let's add this and then happy. There we go. Is it looking good, everyone? And then we've got this to go down here. So let's add some dimensionals to this. And let's put one more on here. Okay. I think we're almost done here. Okay, let's do this. And then this is gonna pop up. I'm thinking, let's kind of go right about here. So that way, there. What do you guys think? There's the pop-up. Not too busy. So let's add some of these matte black dots here. Let's add some of these black here to finish this off. There. Okay, what do you think? Lovely. And there's the inside. I didn't forget your birthday, just stretching out the celebration. I think she'll like it because she usually does like a huge party and everything every year. Okay, let's make her an envelope to go with this. And I'm going to pull the Stamparatus back in. Okay. Hopefully I can figure this out. Maybe we'll just pick it up. Whoops. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have to move this. Let me clean this first, because it does have Versamark on it anyways. So let's clean this. Let's put this in the corner. Put this here, and then this here, and there we go. Okay, did you guys see that? So let's pull this in, and let's grab our ink pad again, just to put it underneath the, just to, keeps it from wobbling and bending on you as well. Okay, let's see if we can do this in one try, or let's go one more time. There we go. All right, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just put this there to keep my plate clean. So there are some accessories that go with this. There's like a foam mat, so when you're doing photopolymer, you should use a foam mat with it as well. Okay, so here's our card. What do you guys think? I know the gold just really makes it pop, doesn't it? So here's the one I did before for St. Patty's Day. So one lucky person here is going to get this. All right. Well, I did put the shamrock up there farther, but I think that one's okay there too. So I couldn't decide whether to use white or, what do you guys think? I thought this was too much green. Let me know in the comments, which one do you think is better? The white or the green? Because I can switch it out. I don't know. Maybe I should go with the green. So let me know what you think about that. Okay, so, oh, that's what I did too. I stamped the back of the envelope. Let's do that before I forget. I think this little shamrock is really cool. There, that really finishes it off now. I can't wait to get this in the mail to her. Okay, so let me show you a few other examples. I gotta, let's see, what did I do with them? Because this is the one that started it all. Remember the first Rain or Shine vertical fold? And you can see this on my website at createwithnancy.com. And there's a whole blog post about this with directions. The video, the link to the video is there as well. So you can check that out. So I did a presentation this week. It's been a busy week. So I shared with them these other examples here. This is with the Valentine bundle. And I can't think of what it is or off the top of my head, but yeah, and then here is, these are all vertical pop-up fun folds. Okay, so there's that. So it can be, this is great for any time of the year. I kind of kept it very generic, so it can just stamp a greeting on the inside when it's when I'm ready to mail it. So, and then of course a matching envelope. So for those that are looking for guy cards, masculine cards, here's a great one. And this is just using the designer paper. It's the He's the Man designer paper. This is an embossing folder on the background. You see that? And I simply swipe the ink pad across very lightly across those raised edges. I kind of like this one. And then here's my pop-up. I took one of the trees that was one of the die cut images, and just very simple, you know. It could be just any reason, occasion for, you know, the best dad award, or it could be Happy Father's Day, whatever you wanted to make. So I'm seeing like white, I think, is the winner for the words on here. Okay, here's another He's the Man card. So this one's pretty simple as well. Sometimes simpler for a guy is simpler is better, and I just simply have that little embellishment there for that pop-up. So So there's that one. And then I love this one here. This butterfly one I think is really pretty. This is the butterfly paper. This is from the annual catalog. This is going to be retiring soon. And I simply fussy cut. I only use the designer paper. No stamps, no nothing. Other than punches. I use some punches. I use that decorative circle punch that I love, the 2-inch punch that you can find if you don't have it in the online exclusives. And I just need to go back here. So yeah, and then fussy cut another butterfly. So, and these are fussy cut out of the designer paper as well. So very easy. So I hope this inspires you today. And you feel like you're confident that you can go and make one of these vertical easel pop-up cards. The Valentine's paper is Country Floral. Thank you, Carol. Hi, Karen. Welcome. So anyway, so I hope this inspires you to go out and start looking at your designer paper or your stamp sets, or whatever. Okay. And happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. And make sure to come back next Wednesday at 3 p.m. either here on YouTube or on Facebook, because I will be sharing the elegant border dies. Let me show you them really quick. It's these dies right here, the elegant border dies. They are fabulous. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. They're fabulous. They're easy to use, and you can make some really fun things with it. And I'll be focusing with the Hugh's Happiness designer paper, and it's on low inventory. And once it's gone, it's gone. So, so keep that in mind. And I think that's it. So thanks so much for supporting me and being here and everything. So I'm glad you love the cards. And if there's anything that you need help with, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, everyone, have a great day, and we'll see you soon.